Hey guys, welcome back to Harmon Homestead. Today we are in our pasture garden. We have some turnip greens, mustard greens, and Siberian kale that are ready to be harvested. We did not do that well this year. The reason that I'm trying to get this today is the leaves on these plants are withering. This is a turnip green here. Now I could cut off the bottom leaves, but you can see it did form a turnip on the bottom, but everything is just withering away. And here where we're at, we are predicted to have a drought. No rain for several weeks, so I don't know if you could call it a drought, but we're going to be without rain for a while. So the way this is going, it's time I think we'll go ahead and get it. We had some very cool mornings this past weekend. Perfect to make these a little bit sweeter to eat. However, it's back up to 82 today, 85 for the rest of the week. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up what I can, and I think we're going to try to replant these. But I want to show you the difference between turnip greens right here, and he's spindly. I mean, he is spindly. There's probably one or two leaves I would even fool with off of this, and I don't know if we're canning these or if we're going to just freeze these like we did last year. But there's your turnip. It's great in stews. That's not the size you want it to be. These are not fully matured, but the way deer are here, you can see the fence posts we've got all around the garden here. We just took down the twine that we had to keep them out, the fishing line. It just, this time of the year, they're gonna come in here no matter what. So turnip greens, okay, and then I don't know if it's in the camera right here, your curly leaves are gonna be your mustard. So you can see the mustard leaf, and then the turnip looks more like kale. Now he looks great. He looks really good. And of course, on the bottom of mustard, there's no root vegetable. It's just a green. But the mustard green actually looks a whole lot better than turnip greens. Before you do anything with these, you must clean these very, very well. In all these little nooks and crannies on these leaves, like this one right here, which I probably wouldn't even keep this because it's yellowing. I don't know if you can see that or not, but look at all the dirt. And it gets up under the leaves, and you think it's easy to get this off. Y'all, it is time consuming to get dirt off of these leaves, but they're great to eat. Put some bacon grease down in these, little apple cider vinegar, some onion, whichever way you prefer, and these are awesome to eat for a side. I want to show you this right here. This is another turnip. It's got the purple top, little white bottom. These lower leaves you're going to throw away. I've got some shears here. You could actually just cut the bottom leaves off, or cut the leaves that you want to eat if you actually just want the green, and let it keep going, because little shoots are coming up through the center. So it's not a one and done deal. But all these, see where it's getting like woody here. It's trying to sustain itself. You don't want that, it's not tender. And also where the leaves are yellowing, I don't know if you can see from the sunlight, but it's just getting old looking. You don't want that. You want this right here, tender green leaves. It's going to be hard if you're just throwing seed out in dirt like this to get huge turnip greens that you see in a store. And you also have to factor in what they've put on these to make them that size, like collard green leaves. You can do it, but it has to be in more of a controlled environment, like a raised bed. But see this leaf right here, you don't want to freeze that or can that it's just not going to taste good. If you can possibly see, it's just yellow stems, dry. It just looks like wilted lettuce. You do not want that. What I do with these usually is just feed them back to the chickens. All right, guys, so these are all mustard greens right here. You can see how they are smaller, a little withered. The only good thing about this is, though, is the smaller your greens are, usually they're not as spicy. The longer these stay out here in the elements and heat, the spicier they will be. It will be very hard to eat these. Now, look what we just pulled. Look at him. Look at the size of that turnip. Actually, a normal size turnip. Look at that. So proud. Put it in stew, put it in with the greens. Here's something else. I just saw him poking out of the ground. Usually, the bigger the leaves, you'll see that something will probably have a root on bottom if it's a turnip. The purple line usually will stick up out of the ground right there. You'll see a little purple poking up, and it'll look just like that sitting in the soil. Then your white part will be underneath. This right here is our Siberian kale. You can tell by the leaves, and of course it has no root on the bottom. When you plant mixed greens like that, usually you're going to have kale in it as well. All right, guys, we have one huge basket full of greens. There are still plenty behind us. It doesn't hurt to thin out your greens. Pick some, put them up.